JD Vance just took this hoax to a new extreme, and boy did he pay the price. He got fact-checked by the mayor of a small Ohio town, and I want to spend this video ending JD Vance's career, exposing him for the fraud that he is, and thoroughly debunking multiple lies that he's told just in the past week. And I struggle to think of anybody who deserves their platform taken away more than JD Vance, because he said multiple things this week that have pissed me off personally. And this goes beyond his lies about Haitian migrants who are here personally, by the way, which these lies have caused division in small Ohio towns. This goes beyond his flip-flops on all of his core positions. This goes beyond his childless cat lady comments. This is a clip that I want to play for you, but first, let's break down this article titled JD Vance shares social media post about immigrants cooking pets in Dayton. City refuses it. This happened just today. Make sure you leave a like on the video below if you're hearing about this for the first time here. So a new viral video shared by Republican vice presidential nominee and Ohio Senator JD Vance is continuing to fuel rumors about migrants abducting and eating pets in the state. Now, I'm just going to warn you, I'm not going to play this gross video, but I will be scrolling past the gross video in a second, so you'll see one thumbnail picture from it. However, this time it says it's happening in Dayton, Ohio, according to JD Vance, about 30 miles away from Springfield. Now, Springfield has been at the center of the immigration debate, and there were unproven, actually disproven claims that Haitian immigrants are killing pets. The original video was posted on X Saturday morning by Christopher Rufo, a prominent conservative activist who initiated the adversarial movement against critical race theory. The video shows what seems to be skinned animals on top of a small charcoal grill in the yard of a home. A couple of live cats could also be seen roaming the yard around the grill. The post quickly gained traction and then was boosted by JD Vance. Quote, Kamala Harris and her media apparatchiks should be ashamed of themselves. Another debunked story that turns out to have merit, Vance posted. In the caption of Rufo's post, he claims the video is proof of migrants eating cats in Ohio. Now, I'm about to scroll past this video. You can kind of tell what it is. I don't even have to click on it. To continue, quote, we have discovered that migrants are, in fact, eating cats in Ohio, the caption reads. However, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims said in a statement today on Saturday that he refutes the rumors of Dayton's immigrant and refugee population eating pets and called the claims, quote, baseless. Quote, this claim is totally false and dangerously irresponsible of politicians aiming to sow division and fear. There has been absolutely zero reports of this type of activity, and spreading such misinformation undermines our status as a welcoming city, Mims said in his statement. The city of Dayton stands by its immigrant and refugee committee, and we value all of their contributions to our city's vibrant culture and economy. We will remain committed to creating an inclusive environment for all Dayton residents. And I like how Donald Trump and JD Vance boosted this claim into a nationwide hoax, and it turns out that it was actually an American citizen in Ohio that killed a cat. So that means that American citizens, voters in red states, are the ones just killing cats. Dayton Police Chief Cameron Afzal also released a statement today saying the department, quote, strongly refutes the irresponsible information being put out on social media or other avenues about our immigrant community. Quote, we stand by our immigrant community, and there is no evidence to even remotely suggest that any group, including our immigrant community, is engaged in eating pets. Now, the question I pose to you is, do we really want two people in the White House who are so gullible, so impressionable that one of them sees it on TV and says it at a debate, and the other one sees it on Twitter and decides to boost it? I don't want people like that in the White House. That brings me to this clip of JD Vance that released this week of him saying that we should cede Ukrainian land to Putin. Now, obviously the cat hoax pisses me off, but this is also a topic that I care a lot about: Ukraine and democracy abroad and stopping Vladimir Putin. I have friends over in Ukraine, and JD Vance is playing games. Watch this clip and then I'll thoroughly debunk it.
Ukraine wants this war to end. Europe, which, by the way, has underfunded this war while American taxpayers have been very generous to the Ukrainians, the Europeans want this war to end because it's jacking up their energy prices. So I think what this looks like is Trump sits down, he says to the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Europeans, you guys need to figure out what does a peaceful settlement look like. And what it probably looks like is something like the current line of demarcation between Russia and Ukraine. That becomes like a demilitarized zone. It's heavily fortified so the Russians don't invade again. Ukraine remains its independent sovereignty. Russia gets the guarantee of neutrality from Ukraine. It doesn't join NATO. It doesn't join, some of these sort of allied institutions.
Okay, so I have a few questions. Number one, what JD Vance was saying is that his peace plan for Ukraine is to let Russia keep all of the land that they've already taken over. He wants to cede Ukrainian land to Vladimir Putin, and I will explain why that is a terrible idea in just 1 second. But the question I would pose when he says that Ukraine should not be able to join NATO and be a neutral state is, what about the sovereignty of the Ukrainian people? What if they want to join NATO? Why should Russia have so much influence over that sphere? And he also frames it in a weird way. He says Ukraine wants the war to end. Yeah, Ukraine wants Russia to pull its troops out. Ukraine doesn't want the war to end as it is and redraw the borders. But honestly, the best way I could debunk this is by showing you this clip of me confronting Vivek Ramaswamy back in December, almost a year ago now, about 9 or 10 months ago, and I say the same thing. I debunk this and I say, if you cede any Ukrainian land, all that Russia will do is re-engage down the road.
So if you look at the history of Russia, one of their core strategies during wartime is to start wars, stop them when it serves their interest, then reignite them down the road. And we know that Vladimir Putin is a bad faith actor. He broke the Budapest Memorandum. So how are you going to ensure that down the road he doesn't reignite these wars and inch us closer to World War III?
Yeah, the world's a jungle. You don't find saints anywhere. So do I trust Vladimir Putin? Absolutely not. Is he a craven dictator? Absolutely he is. But can we bet on him following his self-interest just like he can bet on us following ours? Yes, we can. You know, follow up quickly and then we're going to wrap.
Yeah, really quickly. So one of Russia and China's shared goals is to destabilize the West. So what interest are you going to introduce to Putin to supersede that?
Yeah,
So basically, what happened here is that Vivek Ramaswamy thinks in a very similar way as to JD Vance. He thinks that he can create a peace deal with Vladimir Putin that Vladimir Putin will stick to, but if you look at the history of Russia, that's not how it works. Every single time that Russia makes some sort of peace deal, they end up breaking it just a few years later and inching closer to Ukraine, getting more and more territory. So what JD Vance wants to do is cede Ukrainian land and in the process kick the can down the road to an administration 10 years later after Russia has rearmed, and then that will inch us closer to World War III. And what Vivek Ramaswamy says is total BS. He is the worst. He says, oh, but I will introduce a new interest to Vladimir Putin and he'll want to partner with us. He won't even care about Ukraine. He won't see us as a competitor. And I said, what interest are you going to introduce to Putin that supersedes his will, his urge to destabilize the West? And Vivek didn't have any good answer. He knows that his plan is BS. JD Vance knows that his plan is BS, and I will continue to thoroughly debunk him and fact check him. Every single thing that this man says is not thoroughly thought out, or it is intentionally meant to mislead American citizens, and I can't tell what is worse. Leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit the subscribe button, and have a great day. Peace out.